Hello everyone, it's Shay here from ProEMP, and today I'm going to be going over the new announcement of the Loopcloud version 3 app, and I'm going to be using it in conjunction with Omnisphere today. If you're not aware of Loopcloud, it's a online based sort of cloud service for your sample library, and up until now you've only been able to use or utilize the sample libraries that you have purchased through Loopmasters, whereas now this version 3 gives you the option to upload your own sample libraries, which is pretty big because Loopcloud in itself was a very useful tool, and it's something that I'd been using for quite a while. So this is the page that you go to here, just loopcloud.net and loopcloud dash or minus sign download, and it'll bring you up to this page. It's completely free. It's not something you have to pay for. If you do register though, you get a 1 GB welcome pack of sounds, which is kind of like a few different sample libraries, or the taster packs that you get for free from different sample libraries that Loopmasters have to offer. You get 150 free samples per week for free, but you also get 500 free points, as Loopcloud is a points-based system. So instead of actually spending money, you buy an amount of points, kind of like how Xbox is and that kind of thing, where you buy a certain amount of V-Bucks or whatever, and you get to use those points as money tokens. And normally it's around about 25 points per sample, depending on the length of the sample. So if you do register, again, it costs you nothing. So you can download for Mac and Windows, and there's also a user guide. If I just go now to my Loopcloud app, this is what the app looks like. So what you have here so far, everything that's in just a standard folder or sort of style, like a folder, is your Loopcloud library. So things that you've got from Loopmasters or things that you've purchased through Loopmasters. Here, this little star one, this is the new inspiration. So this is the pack that you get for free, which is over a gig, which is quite large, to be honest. It's quite extensive in what you get. And there's also that's where you'll find your new 150 or so sounds per week. You've got a very good browser here, so a very useful browser here. You can search the library, whether it's the name of the sample or something that's in it. So for instance, a string ensemble or a cowbell. You can search for names, genres, labels, formats. It's very, very good. You can also go to a store here where you can physically buy and preview sample libraries. So let me just show you that quickly. If I just go to the store, you can see here that if I go to any of these, I can click on one for info, and then underneath that info I can open it up, and I don't have to buy the whole sample pack. I can literally just buy a drum loop, for instance, which is 25 tokens. So it's very, very useful. It's a very easy way of just finding the stuff that you do like from sample libraries, instead of having to buy the whole sample library, or in most cases, which a lot of people still do, is just sort of pirate them or try and find them for free online. This way it just kind of eradicates that. You don't have to sift through all the stuff that you're never going to use. You can just end up using the stuff that you really do like. But if I go back to my library now, you can see here that I've already added a sample pack in, and it says new, which means it's untouched. And this is just a sample library, Jungle 1989 to 99, a sample pack. Now I dragged and dropped this from my sample library, and what it does, it just analyzes all your files. So I've got basses, breaks, all the breaks here. It will tell you the BPM of that break, what kind of file it is, WAVs, this is a one shot or a loop, and so on. And it's really, really good. It shows you generally like any additional information, whether it's 16ths or quarter notes, eighth notes, and so on. So just to show you how this works, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag in a sample library that's not from Loopmasters. So most of these are Loopmasters sample libraries, obviously, because I've bought them from Loopmasters. However, from here, if I just drag and drop in, I've got one here called Touch, from Touch Loops, Liquid Rhythms. Now it says here, once I drag it, import content by dropping folders here. So let me drop the folder. As you can see, it's going to analyze my files. So Loopcloud is applying tags to your content. So it automatically does this for you, which is very useful. So let's have a look at some of these now. So if I go to pads, for instance, let's have a go down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag one of these into my Omnisphere library as a user patch, just to work on some of that granular. So using Omnisphere is kind of like a sampler. So I'm going to drag this loop here. So let's go for a guitar pad, and let's open up, first of all, let's go to our patch library, and let's go to sound sources, sample, click into the area here, user audio, and I'm going to drag and drop that in. So let's go back to our Loopcloud. Let's move Loopcloud along a bit. There we go, and drag this through. So we get out of this now. So file successfully imported. Excellent. It's a D sharp pad. So let's have a listen to this now. Let's play it through. So that's my user audio file, just taken, dragged and dropped straight in from Loopcloud. Let's check the granular. Let's turn the granular on. Lovely. Let's mess around with this little amp envelope slightly. play around with our filter a little bit. Let's turn the envelope all the way down. It's really nice. So I'm going to drag another one. I'm going to go, let's have a look down here and see if we can find some others in D sharp, because Loopcloud will show you what the key is. So let's grab our textured pad here. Let's move this out of the way a minute. Let's go to part B, sample. Let's click in to find our user audio, and let's drag this one in. Let's see what this one does. So we've got part A and part B. So we've got a retrograde guitar pad and a retrograde pad. Let's play around. Let's stick some granular back on this one. That's not too bad. Let's change the pitching of this. So let's stick this up an octave. Not too bad, getting quite a nice texture there. So let's try and find something else that's in here. Let's go through to some of these leads, and instead of picking something that's quite textural already, let's make use of this granular using this. So all I'm going to do is just look for something that's D sharp basically. So a truncated synth, that'll do. So we're going to drag that into part C. So we go to part C, sample, let's click into our user audio area, find our D sharp sample again, and we just make this window a touch smaller. There we go. Let's find our D sharp sample. There we go. So now when I play, but I'm going to stick the granular on that one again. Really liking that. We're starting to get a bit more eerie feel into it. I might turn part C up because I'm really liking those granular sounds that I'm getting from that there. Kind of like that movement there, so I'm going to modulate this with an LFO, and I'm going to put this on a very slow rate. Let's have a listen. So you kind of get that whipping texture from it, which is very nice. I'm going to go to part D. I'm going to come out of here, instead of it being a noise source, I'm going to go back to sample, and we're going to drag and drop another sample in. So let's get Loopcloud back up. Let's try and find another D sharp sample here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of the leads, and I'm going to go to basses now, or no, arps and keys. See if we can find one that's D sharp, just so we know we're always going to be playing kind of the same area note. So we've got never loop, drag and drop this in. Again, stick a bit of granular there. Move this up, let's have a listen. Give it a bit more leeway on the way out with a bit more ADSR, a bit more release on that envelope. Maybe a bit less attack. I'm really feeling that. Let's move through these. Let's have a look at where else we are. So I think part B maybe have a bit too much release on it. Let's pull that down. I am feeling that quite a lot, actually. That's quite good. So I quite like those whips, but I want to exaggerate those. So on part C, I'm going to come to my effects. I'm going to go to part C. And the first effect here, I'm just going to use a delay, and I'm going to go for a retroplex. So let's have a listen to this now. It's not bad delay. Let's go for an echo. Let's go for 1985, because that's when all the best people were born. There we go, I really like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save this, and I'm going to make a whole new library for this. So it's going to be called basically my Loopcloud patches. So I'm going to go down to save patch quick. I'm going to have a look through here. So users, I'm going to have a brand new folder in here. So within my user folder, I'm going to type new folder, and I'm going to call this Loopcloud patches. Let's get rid of that capital C. Spell it right shape. Okay, and we're going to call this one granular pad 1. So press save, and now I have granular pad 1. Let's bring back Loopcloud up. So let's make this the full size of the window so you can see exactly what's going on here. So all of these samples here, it just makes it a little bit more easy to just generally make use out of your samples. I haven't really even gone into what you can do within Loopcloud, to be honest. Basically, what you can do is drag and drop any loop in. You can change the BPM of the loop. You can double it, halve it. You've got all of these different patterns. So you've got like a 1-bar loop, 16th, kick loops, offbeat loops, rhythms, which are quite good. You can change the octave. You can change the key of the original sample, which is kind of huge. It basically means any sample that you have in here, if it's not the right key as the sample, but you really like the sample, you can change the key here. And once you've drag and dropped a sample in, let me just show you quickly. If I take a bass sample here and drag it down to here, what I can do from here is decide whether I want to download this as my processed version where I've made changes, or the original. So I can always have the original and the process. Now remember, this is completely free. This is just like a browser for all of your samples. And now version 3 giving you the option to have your own sample libraries in there. This is kind of huge because it does all of the work for you. It puts everything into order for you in terms of its key, the general instruments that are in there, puts all these tags in, and just saves you time really, and just makes creativity a little bit faster and without having to do all the standard menu diving or looking at the same sample libraries and sample packs that you always go back to, because guaranteed there'll be ones that you just abandon that sit on your hard drive and you take no notice of. Have a look through those, drag them into Loopcloud, download this obviously first because it's completely free, and you get 500 points. It says up here I've got 400 left because I got a little bit hasty and downloaded a couple of parts. So as you can see from here, from the breakage pack, there's only a couple of things that I wanted from it, which was just 2 drum loops basically that I really liked from it. And it was in the middle of making a track. I was in the middle of making a drum and bass track, and I needed to just layer a couple of drum parts, and I couldn't really get it from the sounds that I was using normally, or just the everyday loops that I kind of go for to edit and chop. So I opened up here, opened up the store, listened to a couple of loops. This opens as a plugin as well within any DAW, so it plays the loop in perfect time with whatever you're playing, so you can audition it perfectly. And yeah, they just worked, so I downloaded them for 25 points each, a couple here, and there was another couple in a different sample library. So yes, go and grab this from the Loopmasters website. If I just bring this back up, you'll see now. Go to the Loopcloud website, make sure that you download this, register, because it's completely free. They don't spam you either. The only messages that I've ever got from Loopcloud is either packs that I would be interested in, going off the stuff that I've bought before, or generally to tell me that I've got some new sounds, or this, for instance. So yeah, that's it for today. I will do some more, as promised. I will do some more Omnisphere videos outlining sound design things and making specific sounds. Drop your comments in the comment section. Please subscribe. I'm really appreciative of the subscribers, the new subscribers that I've got, and the old subscribers still watching the videos. Click that bell if you want to get a notification, because then the more people I see actually subscribing and looking for the videos just gives me a bit more motivation to make these videos. I love doing it, but I also need to know that people are actually watching them. So yes, thanks very much. I've been Shay, and this is Pro EMP.